So good morning, everybody. I'm gonna get right into it. I posted a few comments yesterday on my Facebook, basically where I was talking about Kaepernick and the Nike situation. And so people had, some words about it. People disagree with me, but basically my stance on it was that let's not get fooled by Nike and think that this wasn't an opportunity for them to make some money. Okay, this wasn't them standing behind the protest or the movement, and that their support of Kaepernick is strictly monetary, strictly based off them receiving a monetary benefit. And in no way, shape, or form should we think that Nike gives a damn about you or your protest or the cause that you stand for whatsoever. And so people had, some disagreements with me. Oh, it's a good thing that, that they're getting money behind it and all that stuff. But my stance was this, right? And people, I said this then and I'm going to say it again now, right? Kaepernick would not have needed Nike or any multi-billion dollar, million-dollar corporation support had we supported him. And when I say we, I mean black people. All the black people in the NFL, all the black people watch TV, just the consumers, mainly the consumers. Forget even the NFL guys, mainly consumers. Had we been disciplined enough to turn the television off on Sunday and not watch football, then the NFL would have had no choice but to listen and understand what was going on. And because we lacked the ability to stand behind Kaepernick, now a corporation has done it for us. I don't agree that we should applaud Nike for doing what we refuse to do. Nike decided that they were going to put their money behind Kaepernick and support him in his cause to bring attention to the injustices that we face due to police brutality and a corrupt criminal justice system. And so we could have helped Kaepernick in that goal, in that aspect, and something that affects all of us. Me as a father of two young girls, me as a black man, a young black man in America, that those things are dear to me. And so I chose personally not to watch the NFL anymore. I chose not to support the NFL with my dollars, or any of their apparel. And I played football my entire life. I was a college athlete and playing football. So football is near and dear to me. I credit football with me becoming the man I am today, helped me establish some of the discipline that I have. But I wasn't going to support the NFL. It was my lifelong dream, actually, to play in the NFL, and I didn't fulfill that dream. But as a man now, I recognize the hypocrisy of the league and how they just don't care about black people. And so, I've been in several debates with people about, well, the NFL players make millions of dollars, and I'm saying, like, that fails in comparison to the amount of money that the owners make. And so, even if I was making millions of dollars, I would never compromise my morality based on a paycheck. And that's what a lot of NFL players did. They compromised their morality based on a paycheck. So, we could have easily supported Kaepernick and easily been able to see some resolution in this issue, either forcing the league's hand to do something about it, forcing the league to give Kaepernick a job again, forcing them to put their money into programs and things that would help our community. And then again, we don't need the league to do those things. We can do those things ourselves. But, where things have gone today, where we're now praising a white billion-dollar company for standing behind Kaepernick, that's just not, I don't stand for it. I don't stand with that. I don't stand for that. And they're really just pulled the okey doke and the wool over our eyes, and they want you to go out and buy more Nikes. That's all it's about. Now, another thing that I also want to touch base on is that, and this is not a criticism, I'm gonna just be honest. I 100% support Kaepernick in his protest. I 100% support it, right? And I support what he stands for. I support the fact that he took a knee for all of us. and he tried to bring attention and awareness to a situation that affects us all, like I already said. And it took a lot of courage to do that. It took a lot of courage to do that because a lot of people didn't do it. When you look at it, he was the only one. Actually, him and Eric Reed were the only one, and they both are without a job today. So, the rest of the players saw what was going on and didn't want no part to that because they didn't want to lose their jobs. So what Kaepernick did took a lot of courage. But I have to be also critical of Kaepernick in a sense because Kaepernick never spoke up and said what he wanted. He never said what he wanted the people to do or what we needed us to do. And I see a lot of people call Kaepernick a revolutionary. And in that sense, he's not a revolutionary. He's a protester. He stood for something, but he's not a revolutionary. And I explain that by saying this. When he had the boycott that happened, right? When people were like, let's boycott the NFL or let's take a knee. Kaepernick never asked anybody to do either one of those things. He never spoke up and said, I want the players to take a knee. He never spoke up and said, I want you to not turn on the TV. That was all outside forces, outside people trying to support him, coming up and suggesting ideas for people to do to support him. But he never spoke out and said exactly what he wanted us to do. He could have easily said, hey, I want all the players in the league to stand with me and not play. That would have been a revolutionary statement. That would have been something that I could have, that would put him in the classification of a revolutionary. He could have said, I don't want the players to play and I don't want the fans to watch until something is done about this, until people see that black and brown bodies or just black bodies are being shot down in the streets. We're having public executions on the streets at the hands of police, and until something is done about that, then I don't want the players to play. I want us to not only take a knee, but I want us not to play. Also, until I get a job again in the league, I don't want the players to play. He could have said many different things. He could have modified that however he wanted. Maybe my stance on it is a little extreme. He could have lessened it, but he never spoke out and said what he wanted. And so because he never directed the people's energy into a direction that could have been used, he's not a revolutionary. A revolutionary takes that energy, he takes that movement, and he directs it into where it needs to go. And he never did that. All he did was protest, and he stayed silent. And he allowed the people to talk for him. Now, maybe that's because he didn't have the capacity to do such. That's not for everybody. Everybody can't do that. But it doesn't put him in the face of a revolutionary. Not in my eyes, it doesn't. You can disagree, and if you do, comment. Send me a message. I'm all up for criticism, but this is just my point on it. So I sum all this up to say this, is that as a people, we need to stop falling for the okie doke, and we need to stop being okay with the scraps of others. We can easily do for ourselves and create the change that we want to create. We don't need Nike. We don't need the NFL. We don't even need athlete support to do such. Athletes get paid because we watch. Athletes get paid because we buy merchandise. So if we want athletes to do what we want them to do, or to represent their communities, we need to hold them accountable, okay? And we need to hold them accountable by our support. If we don't support these leagues, we don't support these players, then they won't make money. The owners won't make money. So if we want to see change happen in certain aspects of society, especially in areas that affect us, then we need to hold our celebrities and our athletes accountable. If they're going to speak up, then we need to make them speak all the way up. You can't halfway do it. So that's all I'm saying. Hope everyone understood what I was talking about. I'll try to make it brief. Leave me your comments in the videos. I'm gonna post this on my IGTV and on my YouTube channel, Black Men Discuss. Peace, everyone.